particularly after my last book, which was a nonfiction book, as I said, about snakes. And the what that book turned into was not necessarily where it started, was this idea of why are we afraid of anything, and what does that fear do to us? How does that fear make us act in ways that are violent or are illogical, right? So people screaming and running from a gray rat snake, for example, that it's not going to hurt you. And no judgment there. I'm someone who is naturally afraid of snakes as well. And there's even some pretty convincing theories that there might be an innate fear of snakes, that it's something that we're born with. So no judgment with the fear of snakes, but it is irrational. Approximately 7 people die of snake bites in the US per year. And almost all of those are from
Yeah.
people trying to kill or handle the snake. If you leave them alone, basically they leave you alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, in other parts of
Yeah.
the world, it's a different story. But here in the US, there's not really a reason to fear snakes. So that's what that nonfiction book came to be about. And it really changed me in fundamental ways. So then to move from that project to a book that has this animal abuse was maybe not the most sensible step on my part, because I did find it very difficult because I developed so much sympathy for this animal. So
Sure.
that was definitely the hardest part for the book in terms of writing. I will say that I was working on the what I thought of as the final draft, and turned out to be certainly not. But it was 2020, so height of the pandemic. I was pregnant. I had HG, so I was very sick,
Right.
and
Oh,
that draft was very dark. So that draft, it wasn't intentional, it's just the way that it was manifesting on the page. Yeah. I
something
was
you were
going
going
through it, so
through
I
it.
was
You were
putting it all on the page. And then I was revising substantially after I had my little one. I was thankfully feeling better. And I went back to this idea that I don't like to read books that are this hopeless. I didn't want Essa to be in this dark of a place. I didn't want to leave her in that dark of a place. So I
Sure.
revised with this eye towards lightening the content. And that turned out to be, that was a fun revision. Usually revisions are not necessarily fun, but to think about, okay, I want to make this uh, fit the mold of books that I like to read. I'm going to lighten it up. I'm going to
Yeah.
give Essa more agency. I'm going to give her more power, which was fun. I introduced a ghost, very fun, flamboyant ghost.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how I managed the dark material in the book.